What's up, y'all? We're here for our weekly romance, oracle, and tarot reading. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm just going to take a look to see where we need to focus our energy and intentions in our love lives this week and how we can practice more self-awareness and intention. Ooh, codependency. If you notice your patterns coming up this week, we've been talking about how the universe is offering us moments that will trigger us, but they're like opportunities in order to see what our reflexive responses are while we're triggered. And so this is an opportunity to see, okay, while we feel maybe we are a little bit overwhelmed or we feel challenged by life, how do we have desires or cravings or longings to fall back into patterns of codependency? Do we want someone to solve our problems? Are we limerent as a form of escapism? Are we looking to bypass our own work by jumping into the shelter of another person and thinking that they're going to solve all of the missing pieces of our lives, right? Are we prone to getting into familiar dualistic dynamics where, say, you always end up playing this role out with other people? Are you always like this character for your parents? And so do you always play this role with your father? And so you find yourself playing out this sort of similar role with other people, these dynamics. Are there relationship dynamics that you have with your mother that you end up finding and noticing that you play out with other people in your life? Witness these things, right? Sometimes it is the role of I see this person's about to make a mistake, so I want to offer them help or insight, and it's like that person's not open to it, but you're always trying to offer these things. Or people always come to you for certain things, and then you feel like you're obligated to help them, but it ends up enabling them, and they never learn from their own mistakes. Are you always enmeshed and feel responsible for other people's feelings at the expense of compromising yourself or your boundaries? Look and see where you might lean in or have kind of muscle memory that wants to go back to old patterns that are comfortable and familiar to you. Also, question what you find attractive. Is it attractive to you because it presents something that feels familiar, or is it attractive to you because it's authentic, genuine, and healthy? Ooh, retreat. Ooh, already there. Say less. I'm in hermit mode, y'all. I finally got my 2 days off in a row. So I've just been meandering through the day, giving myself a little bit of staring at the wall time, enjoying the garden. I did go for a run and a walk. I had a workout and did some weeding and some light activities. I went to the store. So tomorrow is another day off. And then, oh my God, the best news ever. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so the restaurant is closed on Monday. So I have an unexpected, extra bonus day off that I didn't know about around the corner. So excited about that. But retreat suggests that we pull back from our activity or seeking out a lot of engagement in our love lives, and it asks us to retreat and do some inner work or some reflection or some rest and recuperation, self-care. Feed yourself so that you're more magnetic. It's funny, the more that I have been focused on activities recently that feed me, that nourish me, that lift me up, it's the more attractive I am for good shifts at work, and just generally more attractive I am, I think, to people, men, and the universe. Today, I saw like 3 dudes out and about in the world today that I had, that I found attractive, and like had kind of a crush on it at some point or another. And it's so funny how but like I didn't care, like it didn't matter when I saw that, like none of them like didn't matter to me at all. And it's so funny because it's like the moment that it doesn't matter, like there they are. It's like so many times you'll go out on the day off hoping that you'll run into some cute crush, and you never do. And then like the moment you're out and you're like, oh, I don't give a shit, I'm so tired, I'm just like into my own thing, I'm having a fun time in my own world. It's like then it's like you're so magnetic that the universe just starts sending you these little pings and signs that you're going in the right direction. It might not be that person or those people necessarily, but I think it's just like proof that your vibration has been turned up a little bit and your frequency has shifted and there's some activity. So I think that's good. But I think we're still in resting and renewal. It's time to disconnect from the world. Amen. Okay, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Well, I know that's certainly true for me. I feel that at this point in the game, I absolutely have to find a person who has faith, that has their own relationship with God, that is not completely limited to making their decisions in life based on reason and logic, but they can be led by faith and intuition as well. I think I need someone. It would be nice if there was someone who was like really interested in Kabbalah, wanted to take Kabbalah classes with me through the center, and was like into the ritualing when the high holidays came. That'd be super cool. But I don't think I can really entertain a serious relationship with anybody at this point in my life that doesn't have matching beliefs, because it's like when it comes to decision time, you know, you're going to butt heads at the way that you make decisions. When it comes to like where you turn in times of difficulty and how you handle times of difficulty and how you perceive those times, that is going to have a major impact. And it's going to come from your beliefs and your religious practices. And so I think that might be a factor in your love life. It might make you feel like your dating pool is a little bit more narrow, but that's okay. You just figure out where you will find those people and where you will run into those types of people. I wonder often where I can find like my true type of person. Sometimes I want to go to like events hosted by the Kabbalah Center, but they're not in Nashville. And so I'm not looking to entertain anything long distance either. So I'm just like, well, shoot. But yeah, so religious factors. If there's a person who it didn't work out with, or it's currently like not really feeling like it's going to materialize, it may not be anything personal against you. It may have everything to do with your religious beliefs. However, don't let that discourage you, because the person who's really looking for you in hopes that they find you, it feels the same way. And so they're going to love your beliefs and your practices, and they're going to appreciate those things about you. So don't worry. There's somebody out there for everyone. Okay, one last card from Romance Oracle Angels. Children. Okay, that's so funny, because when the religious factors came out, I was also thinking about children affecting our love lives. So I think that the way that we were raised in childhood, like the religious influence that was in our household during childhood, is having an impact on our perception and view and attitude and feelings around adult relationships, right? If we grew up in extreme, like conservative households, we might feel like an interconflicting desire to give ourselves fully to a relationship, because we might feel like we don't fully trust the institution of relationship. And so even if we yearn for a lifelong commitment with someone, that those kinds of underlying fears and limiting beliefs and defense mechanisms will thwart our efforts and sabotage us every time. Like every time we get close. So maybe like in childhood, the dynamics that we had with our parents and the dynamics that we witnessed in our parents, and maybe we had extreme relationship dynamics with like a sibling or something that was like a troubled sibling, what have you. The impact that had was rooted in childhood. And so those codependent patterns that were implanted in childhood are the thing that's affecting our love life now. And it is impacted by our religious beliefs, because the religious beliefs are like reinforcing the codependency and the enmeshment, or the belief that leads us to the behaviors that uphold that. So like if you were in an extremely like evangelical household, a lot of the projections and expectations and culture within the family and the household are kind of by nature extremely enmeshed and codependent a lot of times, and not the most functional for like kids growing up to feel that they're learning to be independent and have their own needs and thoughts respected and their own, distance and uniqueness. It's like you have to go along. It's very extreme. It's like, authoritarian a lot of times. So this might affect you now in some way, and might likely be, and especially since the political weather of the moment is so extreme in that way, and mirroring what a lot of us grew up with, that like we find worrisome and we're wary of. I think that also makes us feel a little bit trepidatious about who we're like choosing to get involved with. So we're taking like people's beliefs even more seriously now, because it's going to have to do with like core compatibility and like culture within the household. So taking some time to heal that inner child stuff, and then like just go back and look at it and see where we have those codependent tendencies and where they probably came from within our childhood family traumas and dysfunctions. We all have them, or at least most of us do, so it's not uncommon. All right, let's get a little bit more insight into codependency. Ooh, so we've got Tower card. This is like the crumbling of false beliefs and false defense mechanisms, the crumbling of anything built on false senses of security, and faulty belief systems. So it's like, I think that this is a really good reading, even though it feels heavy. It's like, I think we're having a lot of insights and realizations and revelations this week about childhood stuff that's been affecting us and causing codependent tendencies. And I think that when we see that so clearly, it's going to be these lightning strike moments that is going to make all these illusions and trappings and pitfalls just crumble. Right. And so we're not going to have those reflexive responses as much anymore. They're not going to have as much power over us, because we're going to be able to identify them so much more clearly and quickly. All right, retreat, believe and succeed. So this retreat is like about getting our energy and our power back and our attitude in the right place. This is 6 of Wands. So like the Wands card is fire, and it's passion, and it's enthusiasm. And so I think that one of the themes of this week was about reigniting our fire to like push through this sort of like blasé malaise, or feelings of disillusionment, or even feelings of like hopelessness, or feelings of like just sluggishness and disconnected or ungroundedness, or just not like plugged in with like a plan or like an intention, right? You're just kind of floating along in a fog. Well, the fire is coming back and it's burning off the fog, but it's like it's requiring that we retreat and recharge and replenish, and we awaken to something, to a next level of something. Religious factors affecting our love life. Oh. Let's see. That's too many cards. Let's just reshuffle. Oh, shine. Felt this one. Heal. Okay, and spread your wings. So the religious factors affecting our love life, coming out with the Sun card, I feel like we should just be our unique self and let your, beliefs and practices just speak for themselves in your actions. And don't hide who you really are, because you want to attract someone who's going to be authentically compatible anyway. So by showing who you really are to the world, it's going to attract the right person in. Be proud of who you are. Don't be, like downplaying your beliefs because maybe someone else is like looking for someone else who has their beliefs and they feel like they're the one that is going to have a hard time finding someone that matches them. So like your uniqueness, your weirdness is like going to be their weirdness that they're looking for. So you need to let it shine instead of trying to downplay it to be more versatile and like fit in with more people. Don't try to broaden your dating pool. Actually niching down to making it more narrow and specific is better, because then you're getting options that are more true to you. This is coming from a lot of healing and working on yourself and being like owning who you are and, like being comfortable in your own skin. And so now that you've healed, it's like you've broken through a lot of the chains that had held you back in the past, or that had kept you going through patterns that kept you stuck. And so now it's like you've broken those patterns and those tendencies and those personality defects, flaws, mishaps, and now like really big lifelong desires and goals and dreams can be coming through. Like a prayer is answered because you've been like really devoted to your practice, because this is still about the religious factors card. So it's like your spiritual practice has brought you true healing and transformation. So I think it's going to bring in a new level, a new type of option that you maybe haven't had before. And so maybe that it would explain why there might have been a quiet period where you weren't really meeting new options and you're like, where is everybody? It's like you have been recalibrating, and so the universe hasn't been able to land on a signal to like send someone to you yet. But because now we've landed, we've healed to the next level, it's like the universe can say, okay, cool, you have found your new home frequency. And now you can start calling in and being magnetic to the right kind of thing. So now it's time to spread your wings, put yourself out there. So 2 of Wands is about like having a successful partnerships coming in, putting yourself out there, getting ready to like take what you've accumulated and take it to the next level. So it's like, all right, I'm ready for something new. I've been through my healing. I have worked on myself, and now I have enough awareness and discipline and wherewithal to have a good chance at something new and lasting and have it be different than in the past. So now it's time to put yourself out there, and there's possibility for successful partnerships to come through. All right, and then children affecting your love life. I usually interpret this as the inner child stuff and things that happen to us during our childhood. I mean, at any point, like somebody that you're interested in could have kids, and that could affect your love life. But I usually interpret that as something deeper, because that's something we can't do anything about. So it's like, why waste our time worrying about that? But we can do something about our own inner child influencing the way that we are reacting to life. Embrace. So yes, so the embrace the inner child in a way that is like going through, approaching the world as if you had never gone through the trauma that you had, right? Looking at the world through fresh eyes, through positive expectations, through optimism, right? Don't let yourself be jaded. Don't let yourself expect, it to be tough out there and all of those things that we hear everybody say. And then we're like, oh yeah, it's crazy. And then we jump in because it feels good to be part of the drama and like chew the fat, say the things. Those are actually very disempowering affirmations to keep speaking over our love lives. So it's like we want to embrace life, embrace the world, embrace opportunities to meet people and approach it in a playful way, like with our healed inner child who's optimistic and trusting and curious and excited and adventurous, right? But also wise, right? We're not falling back into old patterns. We're honoring our boundaries. We're taking things slow. But because we know what we're doing now, we know the rules, we've got discipline, we've got strength, we've got character. Now it's like we can open up and give it a whole new go, all right? Okay, that's all for tonight. I will see y'all tomorrow for our weekly reflection message. Until then.